think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though. It's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
What I'm saying, this is the first time that she's been she may be. But my point is that job would not maybe have been open to her.
No, I understand. I just wanted to clarify.
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that. And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said.
But that lady, that new press secretary, she's
that video, dude.
She's a gangster. Have you seen that video?
You've never
Jamie?
seen someone more prepared for a question in your...
This is no ordinary media spat. It's a full-blown spectacle where primetime podcast fury collides with daytime drama. Joe Rogan didn't just criticize Sunny Hostin. He steamrolled her with a takedown so sharp it's got media watchdogs howling. And just as the dust was starting to settle, Karoline Leavitt strolls back into the courtroom, filing yet another lawsuit against The View. Behind the cheery mugs and forced laughter is a pressure cooker of egos, grievances, and lawsuits. It's not just drama, it's blood sport with coffee.
The View has to be, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin.
You think it's deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't...
Leavitt, never one to back down from a fight, is back, not on the campaign trail but on the legal warpath. Her sights are set, once again on The View, the daytime talk show that's turned controversy into a cottage industry. This isn't just another headline, it's a rerun of chaos. And just when you think the theater couldn't get any louder, here comes Joe Rogan, entering stage left with verbal brass knuckles. The man who feeds off media conflict has just found his next meal.
It's like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
Yeah, and the other question is then: is that representative of a big constituency? I think probably yes.
Well, a lot of
MSNBC viewers are probably also thinking,
I don't even think the MSNBC viewers. I think they're a little bit more sophisticated than that.
Yeah.
This is like low information, blue no matter who, like older housewives who are mad at the world. That's the appeal that Whoopi Goldberg.
In case you missed her first act, Karoline Leavitt isn't exactly a household name until The View made her one. She was dismissed, mocked, and fed to the snark machine for daring to speak like a conservative with a spine. But Leavitt isn't crying about it, she's suing about it. Again, it's part vendetta, part accountability tour. She's not just rattling the cage, she's tearing it off the hinges, dragging her media critics into a court of law where tweets and sneers don't hold up as evidence.
Watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him. They have shamed him. They have lied about him consistently on their show. And it was a joy to watch them on November the 6th when they realized that tens of millions of Americans do not listen to the lies that they have spewed. These women are completely out of touch with reality. And you're right, ABC should wake up. They just paid $15 million to President Trump's future library. That's a great thing for the American.
Let's be honest, The View is built for this kind of scandal. It's a chaotic cocktail of gossip, grievance, and performative outrage. Legal drama isn't a side effect. It's the business model. If courtroom summonses were part of the morning rundown, the crew would need their own judge on payroll. But this time, it's different. The legal mess isn't just a punchline, it's a potential reckoning. No PR intern in the world can clean up this level of mess with a neat apology and a hashtag.
And while we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they are going to be hearing directly from the leader of the free world. And the press likes to hear that too. That's something that has not happened over the past 4 years. We've had an incompetent, senile president, as proven by that scathing Wall Street Journal report that came.
Cue Joe Rogan, stage right. The podcast juggernaut never met a media scuffle he didn't want to obliterate. Where others see controversy, Rogan sees an opportunity to nuke pretension from orbit. He's not here to politely disagree, he's here to call it out, burn it down, and walk away with the mic still hot. And when he zeroed in on The View, specifically Sunny Hostin, he wasn't just roasting, he was dismantling brick by self-righteous brick.
Saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's been overwhelming my past couple days. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a rabies-infested hen.
So why is The View under legal fire again? Because they did what they always do. Take a conservative woman, shoe her up, and spit out a caricature. Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit outlines a pattern, mocking her intelligence, dismissing her legitimacy, and ridiculing her values. It's not satire, it's sabotage disguised as sass, and Leavitt is done taking the hits. She's lawyering up and hitting back, not just with outrage, but with documentation and court dates.
I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe.
To hire a spokesperson just so that Elon Musk doesn't put out tweets that then confuse federal workers.
Are my press briefings not good enough for you, Jeff?
That's when Rogan smelled blood. Sunny Hostin, often portrayed as the show's moral compass, became the target of a verbal wrecking ball. Rogan's takedown was swift, merciless, and loaded with receipts. He didn't just poke holes in Hostin's commentary, he gutted the entire image of The View as a place for serious discourse. His listeners didn't just laugh, they roared. And for The View, this was no passing jab, it was a demolition.
Does Whoopi have children?
No idea.
It's interesting too, like really politically motivated older women who don't have children.
Yeah.
They're very specific. Like you can kind of guess the way they think. I would like to see like what the stats are on older post-menopausal women with no children and how they lean politically.
Yeah, college educated. Yeah.
Oh, it is like.
Yeah, no, it's
I
extreme.
bet it's like
Yeah.
my fans being male.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like ocean blue. I mean, like the depths of that.
Bananas. Yeah.
Because Joe Rogan doesn't critique, he annihilates. His style isn't about nuance, it's about calling bull when he sees it. And he sees a lot of it at The View. According to Rogan, the show isn't journalism, it's pageantry. A well-rehearsed circus where outrage is choreographed and facts are optional. And in the Rogan-verse, that's blasphemy. He painted Hostin not as a journalist, but as a character in a political soap opera, one with no script outside smug and loud.
When Tulsi Gabbard got on to defend herself and Joy Behar starts panicking and going over her notes while Tulsi is refuting everything that she said.
Yeah, I mean, Joy Behar, like, again, these people have dementia. These are people who, like, should not be allowed out of the house. They have a national platform. I mean, it is crazy. They have no idea. These people have never read, like, a...
Of course, The View responded. But what can you really say when a media wrecking ball is charging at you? Their rebuttal was lukewarm, safe, and totally mismatched. Like sending a cease and desist to a wildfire. Rogan has the reach, the audience, and the attitude, and The View just had another bad Monday. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt remains the spark. Her lawsuit is more than a complaint, it's a declaration. The days of media elites mocking without consequence may be numbered.
You get people thinking, like, if you could stop Hitler by any means necessary, wouldn't you stop Hitler? And so they equate Donald Trump with Hitler and go, here you go, this is our modern Hitler. Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
With Rogan unleashing audio napalm and Leavitt filing paperwork that reads like a manifesto, the View is wobbling. This isn't just bad press. It's a cultural moment. The tides are shifting. The talk show once seen as untouchable is now playing defense, and the rules are changing. Courtrooms are the new battlegrounds, and podcasts are the new press briefings. Media elites no longer control the conversation. They're part of it, whether they like it or not.
Their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. But arguably, like the fans, the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like they're probably immobile.
Right. Because their mom's taking their kids to school, and that's
It's a very strange.
Welcome to the new normal. Lawsuits as weapons, podcasts as platforms, and reputations hanging by a Twitter thread. Karoline Leavitt's latest move isn't just litigious, it's symbolic. She's not just suing a talk show. She's challenging the unwritten rules that let media figures fire shots from behind the veil of opinion. Once praised as the standard of midday commentary, The View now finds itself standing trial in more ways than one.
So Joy Behar went after Joe Rogan on The View, and he fired back spectacularly.
You're worried about losing your job, and you're worried about podcasts taking over, and who's the source of news, and we said Donald Trump was Hitler, but half the country disagreed with us, and he won, and this is and Joe Rogan believes in dragons.
There's a formula now, and The View can't seem to break it. Spark a controversy, mock the wrong person, wait for the lawyers. Karoline Leavitt isn't just participating, she's leading. And this time, she's not alone. The backlash has traction, and the conversation is louder than ever. Whether her lawsuit wins in court or fizzles in red tape, she's already winning in the court of public opinion. And in this era, that's the verdict that sticks.
But it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly.
Well, they're just, it's interesting because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
That's sort of, I think the other ones, there's a couple of the other ones, don't have to name any names, are just very dull-minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart, but captured.
Sure, I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course. They do everything with it.
So where does this leave The View? In hot water, that's where. Leavitt's lawsuit could force a media reckoning, one that goes beyond a single show. If the loudest voices in the room are finally being held accountable, others may think twice before turning dissent into defamation. Karoline Leavitt is making one thing clear. The era of unchecked media snark is over. And if it isn't, she's ready to sue again until it is.